play. Because I do think the option is pretty fun to play. It's cool looking. You do a lot of different mobility stuff. It has a really different presentation than most sorcerers do. I like all of that. It needs a little bit more on base sorcerer, I think, for it to be particularly excellent.
Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're going deeper down the Sorcerer hole. Yep, doing that one again. Today we are covering the Storm Sorcery Sorcerer.
I love this thing. I love it so much. It's a shame it doesn't have an expanded spell list. If you're a
Um,
sorcerer out there, I would just be like, hey, DM, can I have like one bonus spell at each level, like every spell level? And I think you'll have a great time with this thing.
I want to like it. I like the idea of it, but and I like one feature. The rest I'm not too keen on, I don't think. But let's get into
Maybe,
it.
listen, maybe I've got rose tinted glasses. I haven't read this thing in a hot minute. So we start with Wind Speaker. The arcane magic you command is infused elemental air. At first level, you can speak, read, and write Primordial. Knowing that this language allows you to understand and be understood by those who speak the dialects Aquan, Orin, Ignan, and Terran. Not a feature, but cool.
We already don't value additional languages very
Mhm.
much on this channel. Getting a specific language is even less.
True. The actual first level feature you get, though, I think is really cool. It's called
Yeah.
Tempestuous Magic. Starting at first level, you can use a bonus action on a turn to cause whirling gusts of elemental air to briefly surround you, immediately before or after you cast a spell at first level or higher. Doing so allows you to fly up to 10 feet without provoking opportunity attacks.
All right, this is the feature I like.
It's kind of cool. Is it good? Not really, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're firing off spells, hopping around the map. That's good times.
It's nice that this is really a guarantee get out of jail free for when you cast
Yeah,
Thunderwave, right? So you go like I Thunderwave and then I fly back, or I
that's
fly back
true.
and then I Thunderwave. You can do some neat positioning things with this, right? Where like you run to get within range of people, cast the spell, bonus action before the cast to move 10 feet, and then the spell happens. So it's firing from where you land, not where like you jumped. That's kind of
Mhm.
neat, right? Um, this is a cool little ability. Disengaging free for free as a bonus action makes Sorcerer really slippery. And I like slippery sorcerers. I like the ability, like this archetype feels like it goes on a pirate ship, right? This feels like someone that would be out to sea that's like jumping around from swinging around the banisters, using spells to give them a little 10-foot boost and jump over around here or there. It's cool. I like it a lot. Is it again? I don't think there's that much powerful stuff to do with it, but given that you're going to be casting spells, this is a small little payoff for casting the spells you want to cast anyway, and lets you look a little bit different than every other sorcerer. It's kind of nice.
This I, would this make vampiric touch more useful? Because you are like
No,
no.
because it only applies on cast.
What do
If
you
you're
mean?
using Vampiric Touch, you're spending your action not casting a spell, and
What are
this
you
needs you
talking
to
about?
cast the spell to fly 10 feet.
Yeah.
So
So you
let's say you cast Vampiric Touch, you fly
right?
somebody, you get the touch attack on the first round. Every turn after that, you are no longer casting spells. You're using your action to cast Vampiric Touch, or using not your action to cast. Sorry, using your action to use your Vampiric Spot Touch spells ability. So you're not getting the 10-foot fly speed around every round.
Not every round. I'm just saying you can cast it. It's a touch range spell, but then you can use your fly to get away from them so they don't immediately break your concentration.
So you spend a third level spell slot for 3d6 necrotic damage and a 10-foot jump.
Yeah,
Because
but
every
you
round
can.
after that, you can't use the jump again.
Well, no, but you're already away. You can do other things.
That seems like a waste of a third level spell slot still. We're not saving Vampiric Touch with this feature.
I mean,
I
you're
don't think
still
that's remotely
sucking their
powerful.
life force out, right?
Yeah, and then so like in this scenario, you've run up to them, you
Yes.
Vampiric Touch them, and they jump 10 feet back, and you go, haha,
Right.
you're not going to get me this round, and they get moved 10 feet forward. Then
Okay.
what? Then you still get your ass beat, right? Like, what's the difference there?
Maybe they've already moved all their movement that round, and
You're doing it
but
on your turn, though.
yeah,
So they
that's true.
have their next turn, we'll let them
Yeah.
move. Yeah, I'm not
Hmm.
seeing the saving Vampiric Touch, Bob. I think more
No,
likely
it's
it's
still going to be
they've gone on
bad.
top of me, I disengage, and then I run backwards. And then I'm 40 feet away and they have to dash, and then you can kite them out that way, right?
Yeah.
You use
Yeah.
this for like
I don't know.
With
I was,
with the jump spell, you could do a 40-foot or whatever the jump rules are. You jump off a ledge and then you boost yourself 10 feet. That's kind of cool.
yeah,
Boost yourself, then jump or whatever. I don't know. There seems like I think there could be some thematically rich things here. I think jump might not even work with this, but there are cool things that can be done with flying around with Tempest. Tempestuous Magic. Again, it just makes you slippery. It's not that raw power, but it doesn't need to be. It's a first level feature,
all
and it'll
right.
definitely give you the feeling, right?
I do want to say, like, we shouldn't have spent that much time talking about Vampiric Touch. That was just a an off question that came to my mind. I like this for more than that. In
Sure,
fact,
that was
yeah,
true.
okay,
You're the kind of like scatter so much. Anything that gives you little movements or moves people around, that's all what you're about.
yeah,
Sixth level, we have two features. So we get Heart of the Storm. At sixth level, you gain resistance, lightning, and thunder damage. In addition, whenever you start casting a spell at first level or higher that deals lightning or thunder damage, stormy magic erupts from you. This eruption causes creatures of your choice that you can see within 10 feet of you to take lightning or thunder damage. Choose each time this ability activates, equal to half your sorcerer level. So you start with 3, and then you can stacks up from there up to 10 at the 20th level. So every time you cast a spell that's doing lightning or thunder damage, you get a little bit of bonus damage. Neat.
yeah.
Not great, but neat.
That feels like nothing. Like,
Um, I think it's gonna happen every single round. Like I think maybe not every single round, but most rounds. I think you're gonna want to do this. This kind of paints the picture with tempestuous magic. Your job is to weave in and out of fights, right? Your objective is to like put yourself in danger, get the bonus damage, hit people in area effect, fire off a lightning bolt, get that the 5 to 10 extra damage in, usually 5-ish extra damage in, and then use the 10-foot boost to leave the same time, right? Like you're skimming in and out of fights to get that little bit of extra lightning and thunder damage, juice your shit a little bit more. And it would be cooler if you didn't have to devote all of your known spells to doing it. It would be great if you had like 3 more to spare. Again, I think this benefits a lot from having one extra bonus spell at first, third, fifth, ninth level, right?
yeah,
Where it is now, though, you are going to genuinely have some tough decisions to make as to if you can never use Heart of the Storm as a feature that effectively because you don't have that wide of a spell selection. You get well
yeah.
feature at 6th level, though. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say to play this subclass, you definitely want to plan for it.
Yes. Of all the subclasses in the game that deserve to have bonus spells, this is the one that I think is most missing them. Like, it's the one that needs them the most. I'd love for this to get free Thunder Wave, free Lightning Bolt, free Call Lightning, like
Yeah,
all of those ones. Give me free Gust of Wind, right? The thematically fitting ones, I think this
right.
deserves. We also get Storm Guide though, so at 6th level you get the ability to suddenly control the weather around you. If it is raining, you can use an action to cause the rain to stop, following a 20-foot radius sphere center on you. Neat. Cantrips could probably do that. You can end this effect as a bonus action. If it is windy, you can use a bonus action each round to choose the direction the wind blows in a 100-foot radius sphere centered on you. The wind blows in the direction until the end of your next turn. The feature doesn't alter the speed of the wind. This is a cute cosmetic feature that does very little else for the option.
I
You'll use this on boats sometimes and be like, I'm helping. It's going this way now, and we can sail. And you just navigate and sail that way. You're a navigator
I
now.
guess. All right. Well, you
We.
found more use out of it than I have.
It's
Uh,
cute. It's all flavor. This is a ribbon. This is like
yeah.
the definition of a ribbon. So yeah,
Okay.
sixth
I'm
level.
not thrilled with sixth level.
It's not great. I agree. I think Heart of the Storm has potential to do a little bit of extra damage, and even a little bit of extra damage on full casters is decent. Again, you're still going to really feel that pinch of I have 4 known spells.
Yeah.
14th level gives us Storm Fury. So starting at 14th level, when you are hit by a melee attack, you use a reaction to deal lightning damage to the attacker. The damage equals your Sorcerer level. The attacker must use a Strength saving throw against your Sorcerer spell save DC. On a failed save, they're pushed in a straight line 20 feet away from you. How would you not love this feature? This seems like the most
Because
Bob feature.
I'm not doing it. Like, look, they have to attack me. They're choosing, like, I can't control where they're being shoved, right?
I mean, you're pushing them 20 feet away from you in a straight line. So wherever that is, you can position yourself in such a way that if they hit you, you blow them into a spike growth, right? And
I
if they
mean, you
don't
could
know they're about
try.
to be blown back 20 feet,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
this is
the first guy doesn't know.
exactly. This is also just like 14 bonus damage for a reaction and a push that's a disengage. That does seem kind of like exactly what this option's trying to do, right? We've seen 2 features up to this point that help you move and help you engage in close range quarters, and this is another sort of reason to try and get in the middle of things, even if you're squishy, because you can blow things back that try to engage you. If you do
Right.
screw up and the ogre lands a blow on you, you can blow them off the side of the ship. You can blow them off the just 20 feet back, and they can't re-engage you this round. You can then use the repositioning spells next round. This is really good against multi-attack, right? Because you can conceivably they hit you with the first attack, you go, "I'd like you to stop multi-attacking me, please," and then they fly away. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's fine. I'm not like blown away by this feature either, for the record. Like melee attack is very, very narrow. I really wish this was within 30 feet or whatever, within 15 feet. Um, but it is an at will reaction. We've seen this whole option. There's no sorcery point costs, which is a big perk to it, right?
That's
This just
true. Yeah,
empowers how you cast spells. You're doing this alongside all the twitting stuff. You're doing this alongside other options you're getting as a sorcerer. You're not really constrained on those. This isn't asking you to compete with more resources, which is good.
yes,
And the features you get are genuinely little improvements to spellcasting. I think they're timid improvements to spellcasting. This definitely came out in the Swordcast Adventurers guide when they were like, we shouldn't push anything too hard. But they are genuine improvements across the board so far. I like Storm
yeah.
Sorcery. It's neat. We end on Windsoul, though, at 18th level. At 18th level, you get immunity to lightning and thunder damage. That's a neat little ribbon that probably doesn't matter most times. But you get a magical flying speed of 60 feet. As an action, you can reduce your flying speed to 30 feet for an hour and choose a number of creatures in 30 feet of you, equal to 3 plus your charisma modifier. The chosen creatures gain a magical flying speed of 30 feet for an hour. Once you reduce your flying speed in this way, you can again until you finish a short or long rest. So you always have a 60-foot fly speed. You can opt to reduce it to 30 to give everyone a 30-foot fly speed for an hour, and you can do that once a short rest. So everyone can fly around, rain landing from the sky. You get some immunities and stuff. This is not a capstone that's worthy of being a capstone, but hey, it's kind of cute. I wish you got this or a version of this at 6th level instead.
Yes. Um, yeah. I mean, 60 feet's really fast though. That's fun.
It is pretty fast, yeah. And again, it does. This very much seems like they were like, hey, remember in 3rd edition when wizards flew around with a bunch of conjured elementals and ruined everyone's lives? What if we give them as a capstone feature the ability to fly again? This kind of does that. Flight is a lot better when you don't have to concentrate on it, and you don't have to concentrate on this flight. So hey, it's the
That's true.
Draconic Soul got a slower version of this at 14th level that doesn't give it the allied version. I think that feature deserves to be even cheaper than that. So this feature can't be good, but it is something still.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about most of these features. It's
Yeah,
something.
I really think the 1st level feature does a lot of carrying the weight as far as playing a pirate-esque, pirate themed sorcerer option. This option, I think, would be perfectly serviceable with a bonus spell list. I think it would be perfectly serviceable if the sorcerer class just had 5 more bonus spells.
Yeah.
Without that, I do really think you're going to still struggle with all the core sorcerer problems of just not having enough options, not having enough reasons to cast different spells. If you're asking players to cast a specific kind of spell, you can't expect them to only take that kind of spell still, right? Because they're not going to function in other avenues of play that they want to. You can't expect them to only have lightning and thunder damage spells so that they can have, I always want to be using Heart of the Storm. I want a variety of lightning thunder damage spells to get. I know 4 spells. I'm going to take 2 different lightning thunder damage spells, or I'm going to use the same one over and over again and take some other interesting options. I would even advocate, if you're a player, go to your DM and say, hey, all of the modern sorcerer options adjusted how they got spells like with bonus lists. Would you be down to brainstorm a bonus list with me so that we can give me like 1 extra spell of a thematic type per level? Because I do think
Mm,
that will save this option and make it way more fun to play. Because I do think the option is pretty fun to play. It's cool looking. You do a lot of different mobility stuff. It has a really different presentation than most sorcerers do. I like all of that. It needs a little bit more on base sorcerer, I think, for it to be particularly excellent. It's going to get a C from me. It's like it's fine, lots of little decent options. Definitely needs a bit to be powerful, but I think even when played as this, you'll have a fun time. You're still a forecaster. You're still gonna be able to do busted sorcerer stuff.
yeah, C sounds good. It's got a lot of features that sound like they could be fun, but like not impressed with hard. Like, yeah, just with the limitations of your spell casting already. This is like this is asking me to get up close and personal with creatures for very little like extra damage. That's
But it's conceivably that extra damage is an every round thing you're doing on top of also not foregoing a single bit of full casting, right? All that
yeah.
damage is stapled to. I'm still spending my action every round, blowing things up, sending out spells, doing all the full caster stuff, right? I think they were really passive with the numbers because they were stapled to what is already a known powerful quantity. You could go twitting, lighting chromatic bolts if you really wanted to, and you can, while doing that, get bonus area effect damage around you while having your reaction to knock someone back and take an extra 15 damage. In a round, a bonus 20 lightning damage is a lot. And if you're doing a bonus 20 lightning damage every round, you're dying because you're taking a lot of attack rolls. But if you're somehow stabilizing through that, you are adding a lot of extra damage to an encounter. Now, it's not necessarily that exciting or innovative, to just do I do a little bit more damage, and you do have a large amount of risk associated with it that makes it much harder to actually see come to fruition. But I do think the juice is there. I do think you can do this option as a more fair way to do more powerful spell casting stuff by just giving them not like things that ask you to cast spells with a small amount of damage payoffs.
Yeah, and Storm's Fury. That's if it works well, then it would be fun to watch people bounce 20 feet away from you. But like, I don't like that I'm not choosing where that's happening, where they're going.
You
Um,
you get to pick where you are.
I know,
You
but if I'm standing here and yes, he can come directly at me, but he can also come around from the side. I don't know.
do you I would hazard a guess that if I was against monsters for the first time and my DM was a dick and specifically said, I'm going to have this one position 5 feet to your right, specifically because I know as the DM you have this reaction, that's kind of a scummy thing to do.
Yeah,
Just my opinion, though, right? Most monsters are going to charge you head on, shortest route possible. And that's whenever you're going to have the most ability to navigate around with this thing, right?
yeah.
And
The
even
one
then,
thing.
the push isn't just good for triggering damage. The push is
Yeah,
also good as a disengage tool. If something is
yes.
wasting one of its 4 attacks on you and then doesn't get any more for the round because it failed a saving throw, that's genuinely powerful, right?
Yeah, especially if you're trying to make the most use of Heart of the Storm
Yeah.
by getting in their face in the first place. So,
Yes.
yeah, I can
Which
see
this option
that.
tells you to do.
The other thing I like about this is that what you said before, it's not asking for any your sorcery points, which is yeah, something I've criticized in other subclasses where like you have to choose sorcery points or meta magic or class features.
That's definitely the main downfall for Shadow Sorcerer, right? Is, oh, everything costs a million sorcery points. I guess I'm not using meta magic, or I guess I'm not using my subclass. So I kind of have to
Right.
pick. So this just says, no, you get to do all of the things your core class gives you, and we will enhance that in a storm based way. That's solid.
But yeah, still C sounds about right. I want to like this more than I do. Maybe it
Same.
would be fun to play.
I really hope if they tune up any of them, they give this a tune up in the next PHP because it will just it doesn't have a tune up. It just needs like 5% more. Again, a bonus spell list, something like that, and I am all
Right.
for it.
Was this one of the ones that one of the subclasses that made the cut in the next edition?
No idea.
Do you know offhand? No. All right. Well, I guess we'll find out in a couple of weeks. All right. That was Storm Sorcery Sorcerer. Thank you for being here, Sam, and thank you everyone for watching. Uh, leave us your thoughts down in the comments, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.